This is Maria Hill coming to you live with Noah Webster on his stance on corruption. What is your idea of corruption?
Corruption is within the government. It's all over the world. The system works only with powerful and rich, not the poor. When a corporation is using money that they could be using to pay their employees' wages to negotiate terms with the government, that's corruption right there. When food brand corporations tell you lies about the ingredients in your food to make you buy their products more, that's corruption. Those who have the money to make huge contributions should not be the only ones benefiting from the system.
You mentioned how corporations use the money reserved for their employees' wages on negotiating terms with the government. What's the story behind the statement?
One day, I was eating in this Italian restaurant with a friend and his wife. My friend and his wife are both firefighters, proud and respected workers of their communities. We were discussing a tale about how my friend's wife encountered a South Asian immigrant who was beaten nearly to death on the street, and only because he demanded his paycheck from his employer who was using his money for other things. The South Asian immigrant unfortunately died and on the way to the hospital, never receiving the money for his hard work. While we were listening to this unfortunate story, something was smoking in the back of the restaurant. As firefighters, my friend and his wife jumped to action. Guess what happened? Turns out the owner of the restaurant hired undocumented immigrants. They were trying to make a living while being threatened by the system, our system. The employer threatened them with border control over a simple mistake of not counting their inventory right. We also found out that the owner was withholding their money for their wages over such little mistakes. There's more to this story, but the point is, our corporations, our system only works for those who can contribute a heavy sum, and most times if you are the right color. It pummels those who are going through hard times and completely buries the people who do not have the money or power to make it out. Corporations have no right to withhold paychecks for their workers based on their color of their skin, their hardships, or their little mistakes like miscounting.
What are the common characteristics of countries with high corruption?
Common characteristics of corruption are greed, which is common with money, desire for a higher status in society, low press freedom, low economic freedom, and manipulation. Corruption is a major obstacle to development. It undermines the democracy, destroys the credibility of the government.
You mentioned that corruption affects the lower class. In what way does it affect them?
Corruption can affect income inequality and poverty through various methods. One method could be biased tax systems. Corruption leads to tax evasions. One tax evader is Donald Trump. Poor tax administrations and tax exemptions that favor the wealthy groups. Another method of corruption is through poor targeting of social programs. What I mean is many government-funded programs are diverted for the needy and given to the wealthy, who most times do not need the programs.
Thank you for your insight into corruption and the problems associated with our government system. We will take a short commercial break right after this.